On October 25th, 1979, a private military school, or academy, I guess is what you should call it. I don't know. Are those military schools called military academies?
I think so.
More official. Anyway, in Miami erupts into chaos. Hundreds of students scream about demons and attack each other. So basically a typical day in high school.
Yeah. I mean,
but they cause a whole bunch of chaos, destroyed classrooms. Teachers quickly lose control of the situation. Police swarm the scene. By nightfall, newspapers call it a case of mass demonic possession. But was this Satan at work or something far stranger about human psychology and panic?
I panicked.
You panicked. All right, let's get this started. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the GITN Podcast, where we cover true crime, paranormal, and conspiracies. And tonight we're doing possession. We're doing the Satanic Panic, basically. Is this what we're covering tonight?
79?
Yeah, it covers...
Maybe the beginning of it, probably.
Yeah, this was the very beginning of the Satanic Panic.
Drop my phone.
That could possibly play a role in why this occurred. We're covering a school that had a... I don't know what's the best way to describe this. Basically, over 100, up to 100 kids are reportedly being possessed by the devil.
Sure this wasn't like a senior prank?
I don't think so. I mean, if it was...
a pretty good one.
They're going on, what, 45 years of prank?
Yeah, 46? Shit.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking when I graduated high school.
I don't know, but like... That would be good, though.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
Oh, I mean, they're taking it to the grave, apparently.
Just fucking... If this wasn't a senior prank, somebody should do this senior prank.
Great, we'll be getting sued, even though we're not the only ones ever covered this. So
you're allowed to do...
Right.
Senior pranks are fine as long as nobody gets hurt.
I don't think we did any senior pranks. I'm sure we did, but I don't remember. I say we get into this. Let's talk a little bit about this school. The school that this took place back in October of 79 was Miami Aerospace Academy in Little Havana. It was founded in the early 70s as a private military-style prep school emphasizing aviation and discipline. Student body was largely Cuban-American, reflecting the local community in which it sat, which makes sense. I don't know too many white guys probably going living in Little Havana at the time.
Havana.
But it was very structured, and like all military type academies, they did wear, uniforms, and it was very strict. It was ran by a dictator, just not a dictator.
Can you imagine a school full of Cubans?
Little Tony Montana's.
Everybody's
my little friend.
Just everybody's like, oh, do you have a pencil? Excuse me, teacher, I need a pencil.
All right.
That'd be fucking hilarious. Just a bunch of fucking giant lapelled shirts with like only the two of the buttons done. And they're like, sir, we follow a uniform here, and you need to follow it. You need to shut your fucking mouth, man.
Okay.
My mother come here on a boat made of banana leaves and palm trees. She kicked for 3 days to come to this country. And you tell me I can't have my hamburger meat hang out my shirt? Fuck you, man. Fuck you, man. I'll be speaking in a shitty Cuban accent this whole episode.
Please don't. It was the founder was Evaristo, I guess.
Evaristo L. Marina.
He was referred to, or he made the students at the academy refer to him as El General.
El General. Mucho gusto, El General. That'd be kind of cool, actually. I would much rather that than just Mr. Smith.
Yeah. He was born in Cuba. At some point, he immigrated to the United States. Now,
Legally?
Probably as a refugee at this time. This was during... when
you were allowed.
Regime change in Cuba.
Yeah, when you didn't have to worry about Guantanamo.
Yeah, I would assume he did it somewhat legally. Just declared asylum.
He didn't come over here and work at a burger shop after he stabbed a guy in the barracks.
We're gonna cover him a little bit.
Stabbings.
But
very Cuban.
Nah, maybe. The next part, his past is a little dicey, I should say. There's not a lot of being Cuba in the 60s documentation during the regime change. Things get a little, we're connecting some dots and going by what he says, which, so none of this could be 100% accurate or true, really.
There's a lot of, what's the, a lot of Natalia Grace stuff going on.
Maybe.
A lot of lost paperwork.
Now, according to some sources, he did have a role under the Batista regime, which was before the Castro era.
Dave?
No.
Of Guardians of the Galaxy fame?
No.
WWE Hall of Famer?
No. The ruler or the leader of Cuba was Batista before Castro.
How cool would that be, though? Like, your supreme leader comes out to give a speech and he does the Batista thing where he's like,
I guess. But one source did list him having a title of Director of Public Order.
That's a new one.
So, I mean, public order, would that kind of mean, I don't know what that means.
Basically like the chief of police?
That's kind of law and order. Yeah, I mean, I would probably not a police, but more of a commissioner type. I don't know.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
Not Chief Wiggum from The Simpsons, but Commissioner Gordon from Batman.
Right.
Much more illustrious.
Right. Like I said, this does suggest some sort of law enforcement or governmental role. Like I said, this is there's not a lot of proof. There is a little bit of documentation, a little bit of hearsay. So you have to take that for what it's worth. He left Cuba in 1964, about 5 years after Fidel Castro came to power. So what? So that was 59 was the time of the 59-60 was the time of the coup, essentially. After the Cuban Revolution in 1959, individuals tied to the Batista's government or security services were often targeted for imprisonment, exile, or worse. That would be worse would be death. I'm assuming. I don't think Fidel was very forgiving, if my history serves correctly.
They just got locked in a room and had to listen to Miley Cyrus talk.
Well, considering she wasn't born for another 30 years.
Dude, what happened to her voice? Have you heard her just speak?
There's some vocal damage there.
She sounds like the frog kid from the Little Rascals movie from the 90s. You remember the kid with the glasses and the mullet?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, there's no girls.
Right.
I have no idea what I think his name was Froggy.
Probably.
Racist.
His move does align with the Cuban exile wave that happened in Miami during the early 60s. Before founding the school, Marina was involved with a beverage company. Basically, he started a beverage company.
This is all right.
Well, what?
It's just random. Like,
you come here, gotta make a. Well, you think he was going to be a fucking drug dealer? You fucking racist bastard.
yeah.
No.
Cocaine.
He was.
Was it really old Coke that had Coca-Cola that had cocaine?
I don't know.
He's like, we bring it back. Everybody going to love it.
He did have some success with his beverage company.
I wonder what it was called. I wonder if it's like still maybe a thing.
Well, let me get to
Or was it like a distribution type thing?
I would assume it was a distribution type thing. But in 1968, he sold the business and used the proceeds to establish the Miami Aerospace Academy.
Well, he must have done pretty fucking well.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn. We need to start selling fucking sodas.
Let's talk a little bit about Miami at the time of the late 70s, 1979. What the atmosphere was like. Okay. Miami was in flux. You still had a lot of the Cuban immigration waves coming in and out, which this has went on for years, even up to, I don't think it's as bad now, but up to the 80s and 90s, it was still a big thing.
Well, it's like I know like France and shit's dealing with a lot of shit like that right now. Not from Cuba, obviously, but
as we know from today's society, whenever a large number of immigrants move to a country or this country, there always seems to be a crime spike. When you get a big congregation of people in a smaller area, naturally crime's going to spike.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way of the world. But also, being the 70s, there was some racial tension.
yeah, a lot of brown hate back then.
Yeah. The national climate post-Jonestown in 1978 plays a role in this as well. When we were talking about the Satanic Panic, this was pre the Satanic Panic officially started in the 80s. But this could have been the ground. Events like this laid the groundwork.
The cusp.
For the Satanic Panic to bloom, if you will.
This was the cusp that the condom sat upon before it was rolled to its full extent.
Yes.
Its full inch and a half.
As we've talked about in the past, in the 70s, especially across the globe, really, or the plane, whatever version you want to believe.
It's across the 7 kingdoms.
There was a heavy appetite for cults, possession, and those type of topics.
Because that bitch Linda Blair.
That was true, very true.
I made a point.
Yes.
They need to remake The Exorcist with Cuban immigrants.
Your mother sucked cock in hell.
You wouldn't be able to take it seriously. Like, could you imagine every possession ship movie with that accent?
No, I can't imagine this episode with that accent much more.
God's not here, priest. Fuck you.
Now, I think it is, we kind of understand what was going on in Miami at the time.
Yeah.
For a decade, really.
It was a hurricane of events.
Right. Ha, ha, ha. Now, the atmosphere at the school, at any school really, will often reflect the atmosphere of its surrounding neighborhoods.
The community.
Right.
Yeah.
So naturally there was probably some tension. It was heated probably even at not just the military academy here, probably all the schools in the area. But
especially because, I mean, you're also dealing with, like, not to make it about race.
But you're going to.
But, well, a lot of, depending on where you're at in Miami, you have a large black community. And for some reason, traditionally, in a lot of areas, black people and Hispanics don't get along. Oh.
I'm not even 100% sure.
That might be mostly gang-related, though. So I don't know how much that's would affect a scenario like this.
Whenever you have different types of people,
yeah. Well,
there's going to of different makes and models, you're going to have some issues. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the way of the world. Unfortunately,
that's how we need to move forward with everything. That thought
makes
process.
Models.
Be like, yeah, man, I tell you what, the property value around here has gone down so much ever since I don't know, insert vehicle Monte Carlos started moving in. I don't know who Monte Carlos would be.
I don't know either. We're not going to say because we're not going to be racist.
The Monte Carlos, whoever you thought it was, in your piece of shit brain.
All right. The academy here, I don't disagree with a lot of stuff that went on in the academy. I do think there needs to be strict discipline. And in a military academy, you're going to have strict discipline.
Oh, we have some questionable shit going on within the school?
Well,
like, legitimately?
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Ooh, good.
The school was run with a rigid quasi-military discipline, which you would, duh.
It's military academy. Yeah.
Uniforms, marching, and regimented schedules were daily activities. That's what a student's day was like.
No recess.
The El General demanded obedience, respect of the hierarchy, and loyalty, which is all military aspects. There has to be respect for the hierarchy of the military if you're in the military.
Yeah.
Which,
I mean, that's kind of what you should know. You're signing up for that by going to the school.
Right. Now, it was popular with Cuban American students. Many children were recent immigrants. We're talking fresh off the boat or the raft, whatever. Okay, you rubbing off on me.
The banana boat.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice swim from
the first squeak out of the old microphone stand.
It's a nice swim from Cuba, I believe. Brisk,
probably a little long.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I doubt it would be considered a quick jaunt. Like, mother, I'm going to go for a swim. Oh, are you going to do some laps? No, I'm going to go to another country. Thank you.
Now
I'll see you in 50 years when I can afford to bring you over to my new home in Miami.
Now, the staff at this military academy, there were rumors of controversial teaching styles.
Maybe I bet.
They thought outside the box, which isn't always a bad thing. And we're going to cover something a little bit later with one particular teacher that, definitely questionable. But
White guy.
right. No, yeah, I think it was a white guy.
Yeah.
I have to look. It's been
Those
a
are
week
always
since
the,
I
those are
did
always
this.
the weird ones.
Okay, let's talk about the incident. October 25th, 1979.
Of course, it happened right before Halloween too.
That does play a role in it.
They try to blame it on All Hallows Eve.
Kind of. Just the general atmosphere of, the season.
This never would have happened if we hadn't put those weird gel things on all the windows in the classrooms.
If it had happened in December, maybe they were not possessed by demons. They would have been possessed by elves. I don't know.
Damn it.
But
I blame myself for hanging up that shitty ghost that goes when you walk by it.
Morning classes proceeded as normal until midday. Suddenly, large numbers of students began to scream, convulsing, and claiming visions of demons.
Are you sure that they didn't just, have fucking food poisoning from weird, shitty, cheap Cuban food?
It's possible, but I don't know. The teachers attempted to restore order. Some also reportedly succumbed to the frenzy themselves.
Oh, so they got possessed too.
Right.
Oh.
This quickly escalated into a riot-type scenario. Furniture overturned, students attacking one another, shouts of demons and Satans overheard.
Starting to sound like the high school from Twisted Metal.
Possibly. Now,
Have you watched the second season yet?
I've not watched the first season yet.
Oh, you haven't watched it at all?
No.
I think you'd like it. It's good.
It's
it's
on
funny.
my list.
It's funny and surprising. It is shocking how silly it is. And then at some point within a few episodes, you're like, wait, am I finding myself forming an actual attachment to the character and their backstory? What? Especially Sweet Tooth the Clown. Physically portrayed by Samoa Joe.
Oh.
But voiced by Will Arnett.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. It officially got out of hand. Naturally, getting back to the story at hand, emergency services were called. Somebody dialed 911.
911.
The police were called to help contain the chaos. Multiple arrests and detainees were taken in.
What are they getting arrested for?
Well, they were tearing up shit.
They were under the influence of Satan himself.
Well, just because you're under the influence, if you're under the influence of Satan or alcohol or drugs, you're still getting arrested.
If the glove don't fit, call the pulpit. Yeah. That was better than you thought it was going to be, wasn't it?
No, it was not. The school naturally was shut down temporarily. Now, it didn't take long for the
How
media.
long did you happen to see that?
I don't know. Several days, I would assume. Local headlines, the media naturally caught wind of this and ran with the story.
Yeah.
Local headlines framed it as mass demonic possession at Miami school. TV reporters highlighted the Cuban Catholic community fear of witchcraft and Santeria.
It's a great song.
National wires even picked this story up, feeding into the early days of the Satanic Panic.
I wonder how much the race thing came into this in the community.
Sure it did, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's fucking some Jethros walking around like fucking Cubans. Of course it happened at the Cuban school. They're a bunch of mongrels.
Now,
I'm just thinking blowback within the community outside of the school.
I'm sure there was some tension and some judgmental things said from the people of other ethnicities.
Probably white.
1979. I wasn't going to...
Especially, we've had this conversation before. People tend to sleep on the fact that there's a lot of fucking rednecks in Florida, too. Like, a lot. Hangnail?
No, I tried to cut my finger off at school. Or at school at work.
What the fuck?
Well,
Were you here?
Yeah.
Were you at the fucking military academy?
Yeah. And, I sliced it and there's this little flap. It wasn't going to attach itself, so I had to peel it off.
You tried to cut your finger off?
I gave
You're
it
like, man, I just need to go
I
home.
gave it a good shot. See, look at that.
I just need to go home. I'm
No.
gonna cut it off. One of them's already fucked up. What's one
If I cut
more?
my finger off, I'm not going home. I'm just going to wrap it up.
Put super glue on it.
Hey.
Super glue and dirt.
I've got some there. I've done that before.
It's only one ingredient off of liquid Band-Aid.
I know. Anyway, where was I at?
It's gonna burn just as bad.
Let's see here. Oh, students recalled classmates foaming at the mouth, fainting, and screaming in tongues.
Oh, they were just speaking Spanish.
No.
Have you ever heard somebody speak like fast Spanish? Some countries speak faster than, like the Dominican Republic when I was there. Holy fuck. Like I don't want to say I speak a little Spanish. I understand a little Spanish, not there. They talked so fucking fast, and I don't know if Cuba's the same way, but Jesus Christ, it's like another language.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Spanish was spoken primarily in the school, being the school, where the school was, who attended the said school. I would assume English was the second language.
Yeah, that I just had that thought. Is this not, you would have thought, like, not really related to the Hysteria, but like you would have thought that like maybe it wouldn't have been such a popular school. You left Cuba because of what was going on, and then you're going to put your kids into a mostly Cuban military academy in America.
Yeah, but I don't
just stay home.
I think it was. I'm not going to say it was based in. I'm going to assume that it was probably based in the American style academy. So they weren't. But I'm assuming with who attended the school, who founded the school, Spanish was probably the number one language. So talking in Spanish would not be considered talking in tongues. Most of the people there,
they're just speaking English.
They were probably
like,
speaking
fucking KFC snack wraps.
Where was that?
Or McDonald's snack wraps. For like a week I have fucking hearing about the snack wraps at McDonald's coming back. And he's like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm like, get a fucking life. It's McDonald's. You're still going to get diarrhea. But they're not that good. Okay. They're not.
The teachers gave statements, and they were kind of conflicting. Some teachers just were really pushing the mass hysteria point of this. And there were a few teachers that described evil or an evil presence or an evil feeling in the atmosphere of the school at the time. Now, if you take into account
it's a high school,
the area, highly Catholic, Santeria, so there has to be some hesitation or leaning of that way. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it doesn't surprise me that they were automatically. There were some teachers were talking about an evil presence because they probably had a deep belief in that type of stuff, probably because they were familiar with, if not practicing Santeria.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that thought kind of crossed my mind. How many of the teachers are like come from that background of actually practicing shit like that, being that they might be from an area where that's more prominent,
right?
Which then makes it their fault.
True.
Put a curse on these children.
True. Now the police take on this whole scenario was much more pragmatic. Which it's always going to be. They are the last ones to talk about paranormal or demonic possession, unless we were talking about what was that? Was it that UK one I did not too long ago, a month or so ago, where the police actually came and was like, "Oh, we don't know."
Oh yeah, the one that went on and on and on and on and on and on through like 7 different levels of law enforcement and the church.
Yes, the police described mass disorder, destruction of property, and terrified teens. Which, from their aspect, that's what they were looking at. They were looking at a riot, essentially.
This is just starting to sound like the high school from Principal. Is that what it was called?
With
Morgan Freeman.
Was that Morgan Freeman
or Lean on Me?
Lean on Me.
Yeah, or Stand by Me. Which one? It's either Lean on Me or Stand by Me.
Is it Stand by Me with River Phoenix and the railroad
then
truck?
Lean on Me.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You know the one when he tells the fat crackhead kid to kill himself.
It's been so long since it's been the 80s.
He's like, please let me back in school. I can't tell my mama I got kicked out of school. And he brought him up on the roof and he was like, you smoke crack, don't you? Well, then if you want to kill yourself, don't fuck around with it. Do it expeditiously. And like tells him to jump. And he's like, no, Mr. Clark, I don't want to. You know, it's like, remember the Titans, but for gang members.
Okay. Now, the parents, it doesn't take long for a situation like this to occur for parents to start showing up. You know, word spreads quickly.
Did they just like go back to school after a short period of time? They just assumed normal activity?
Well, let's get through the story.
Okay, well, you said something about the parents. I was like,
Well, the parents, whenever something happens at a school, parents are showing up. It doesn't take long for word to spread.
yeah.
So parents started to show up outside the gate.
Especially back then, you can't pause your fucking soap operas like you can today.
Right.
You're going to be pissed.
Right. You couldn't be.
You're like, I missed the last 15 minutes of Young and the Restless for this shit. Bring me my niños.
The parents outside the gate only added to the, I don't want to say hysteria, but fueled the fire of the official narrative.
Yeah, because they're going to start, like, they're going to be fired up, which then is going to cause defensiveness from the school and faculty. And then once the parents start getting fired up, then the kids usually naturally get emotional unrest when they see their parents getting fired up about shit.
Right. But
so everybody's going to be fucking edgy.
Right. But with the climate of Miami, the type of belief system that the parents had, like I was talking about Santeria, they probably helped fuel the satanic possession, demonic possession theory a little bit more than maybe it would have, if it would have happened, I don't know, in Orlando.
Oh, excuse me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that does play a very pivotal part of the story. Now, the official story of this is mass hysteria. Okay. It's triggered by stress, cultural fears of demons and witchcraft, which plays into the Santeria scenario. One student's fainting, screaming could possibly set off a frenzy of it to where they just fall like dominoes. That is basically mass hysteria, how it works out.
Yeah. Because
everybody kind of, from my experience, you pick up on the energy and you will start feeling that if a fight breaks out, you will get amped up too. Doesn't mean you're going to partake, but your adrenaline will start pumping.
Right.
Same thing goes with this. If you want to put it in historical context, people have often said the same thing about the Salem witch trials, which we have covered. We have covered them. Yeah, we did. That's right, the ergot. Yeah. But a lot of people think that was a mass hysteria event to where the girls, or whatever the girl's name was, just started it, and everybody just went crazy with it, and they started doing some crazy shit.
When in reality, it kind of started over fucking bougie ass people thinking that they were the shit.
Now
and having problems with other bougie ass people.
Getting back to what you talked about a little bit earlier, the drug contamination theory of this. Not
even specifically drugs. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been something biological.
That's true. But rumors of cafeteria food or water supplies being laced with LSD or some sort of hallucinogen, which, hey, we've all heard of spiked punch at the dance.
Yeah. Throwing some fucking vodka in there is one thing. Throwing some fucking liquid microdot into some shit at a high school full of children.
It was the 70s, though. How bad did they want to get out of gym class?
Or did they make it super Cuban? Was it flakka?
I don't know what that is. So
it's a drug.
Now
look it up. I mean, you can see some very interesting videos of flakka users being insane on the streets.
I'm going to take your word for it.
It's kind of like it gives you it has airs of like the bath salt times back in the day. People getting their faces eaten off and shit. Yeah.
Now
if you look up videos of people on flakka, you'll be like morosely entertained.
There was no toxicology. I guess they didn't find anything to substantiate that there was anything.
Well, yeah, like what are they going to do? They're going to test the kids? You can't just do that.
Well, you could test the the water fountains.
Well, actually, that's an interesting thought. Maybe you could. It's a military academy. Maybe you could have tested all the kids.
And you could have tested the food. Now, but there's no toxicological reports that I could find. But this is a theory. What occurred does fit the symptoms of bad trip, essentially. You know, with the hallucinations, aggression, disorientation.
Was there fucking asbestos in this place?
1979, I almost guarantee it.
Okay, just checking.
I guarantee it.
Not that it would, ever
and the
have anything
paint
to
had
do with
lead
it.
in it too.
It's a perfect storm.
Now,
Lead paint, asbestos, and Cubans. That's a party.
there always is the religious aspect of this.
Well, especially when you're dealing with heavy Catholic
and
communities.
the Santeria aspect of it,
The crystal balls.
demonic possession. The Catholic faith has always been steep in demonic possession.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not the only ones, but let's be honest, at least now they have to prove it. They have to have some mental evaluations done before they start,
Catholicism's traditionally been very
Rich.
fear-mongery.
Right. Any kind of religious aspect to theory is always going to lean toward the demonic, especially in 1979, the demonic or satanic. It's going to be viewed through that lens.
Right.
In 2025, not necessarily true,
Well,
but 79, absolutely true.
well, they're so, like you said, it's so Catholic, it's like bad thing, no matter what it is and or can and or will be equated to the devil somehow.
And that's not to say the devil didn't have nothing to do with it. It might have been. I don't know.
The devil went down to Georgia.
Went down to Miami.
And yeah, he went down to Georgia looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind. He was way behind, and he went to Miami to do a cocaine deal.
I don't think Charlie Daniels wrote that in the song.
He ran into Cesar. He said, "That blows pretty good, old son. But I'll take your stash and whip your ass, because I brought myself a gun."
All right, are you done?
I think I actually put that together pretty well. Thank
did.
you.
That was very impressive. Let's get into the fringe theories. So let's naturally go down the demonic possession rabbit hole.
Yes.
Was this a large-scale spiritual attack on a school?
No.
Fuck. Why you gotta ruin the
Be pretty this is gonna sound really bad. It'd be pretty cool if it was.
That's true. Religious theories point
I'm glad
to-
we're both. Fuck them kids.
Fuck 'em. I guarantee they're all little demons anyway. In
Little
the
demons.
spiritual sense or the practical sense, they're all little demons. Anyway, where was now religious leaders are, like we spoke earlier about, are always going to point out the consistency of Satan and a demonic attack. They're
Right.
always going to push that agenda.
I can't get the devil down to Georgia out of my head now.
Soon as one student says demon, it sets it all off. So it murkies the water, and it makes it a little bit harder to really kind of get to the truth, which you're never going to get to on a case like this.
There's too many people involved. Even if you did find a way to like actually dive into it.
Now there are some other aspects to that do lean towards demonic or spiritual that we'll talk about a little bit later. Some fuckery was going on.
It was a foot.
1979 was no different than 2025. When something bad happens, we're always going to fucking blame the government.
Hell yeah.
So this being a military style school, which probably did have some connections to the U.S. military. I'm sure, I don't know what it takes to get a military high school charter, but I'm sure you have to have some kind of
something
with the military.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Never been to military school.
You just got to have a cousin that's in the National Guard.
There are those people that firmly believe, even at the time, that these students were subjected to a military chemical psychological testing. Echoes of MK Ultra, which we know MK Ultra officially, air quotes, officially ended in, I believe, 73. That's when they stopped it. But did they really?
Did they?
Just like what was that one with the? Oh wow!
They declassify the paperwork for MK Ultra and it says the end. ... question mark.
Well, it was like what's the? Fuck! Oh, am I drawing a blank? Third Eye Spies. You know, the psychic spies.
Yeah.
What
are you looking for on that?
But that was supposed to was ended in the 70s, the 80s. And
which is bullshit.
They are still doing it today.
Yeah. The Sears.
Remote viewing. That's what they said. They ended that, but there have been people close to the program. The original program said no, it's still going on today.
I just had that thought of a remote viewer. Could you imagine how nice it'd be to have a remote viewer as a friend? You call and be like, Jim, can you tell me where the TV remote is? I swear to God, this is the last time.
Maybe. But could these students been a part? Were they tested on by some aspect of offshoot of the MK Ultra program?
And is that how a Cuban immigrant started a military academy?
Now, for those people who aren't familiar with us and haven't heard our MK Ultra, we've never actually done an MK Ultra episode, but it's been in 2 or 3 different episodes. This was a CIA program that ran from 53 to 73. And like I said, 73 is in air quotes.
Because it's definitely a lie.
Probably. That's just when
they're still doing that shit.
But this funded experiments into behavioral modification and mind control by using LSD as a dosing mechanism to gain control of the mind. And sleep deprivation, hypnosis, all that shit. Now, if you've heard, we talked heavily about this in our Charlie Manson episode.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of dots that are very close together and can be connected, putting Charlie Manson in the MK Ultra program some way, somehow.
Yeah, it came up quite a bit with the Bobby Kennedy episode too.
Right. So the government did that
shit. It will come
shit
up heavily if we ever do a Unabomber episode.
And Operation Midnight Climax.
Mm-mm.
You know, that involved LSD and sex, which I could be down for. I would be open to that fucking experiment. Just saying.
You don't even need the LSD.
No. Just give me a placebo.
Give you fucking Viagra.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, where are we at?
This has been fun, but I've had an erection for more than 4 hours. I think we're technically supposed to call a health physician.
Now, during the time, it is very...
Thank you for such a lovely tea party.
I'm not surprised. Do I think MK Ultra is it possible? It's possible, but not plausible. I don't think I wouldn't bet money that MK Ultra was involved in this. But it's very possible, I guess.
MK Ultra can never be ruled out of anything.
But during this time, I believe in 75 is when it actually came out, when they had the hearings. And it became common knowledge.
Do it.
So, I don't quote me on that. I believe it's between 73 and 75.
Quote him.
Is when they had the congressional hearings on MK Ultra.
Mm.
So this was public knowledge. So it was an easy excuse for this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't blame people for jumping to this, but I have a hard time. Well, but then again, being a Cuban American school, mostly of Cuban immigrants, if they were going to test somebody, it'd be them.
It's a good spice.
But you know what I'm saying? If they were going to throw a test of LSD on a group, it's going to be the Tuskegee experiment. Let's be honest. You know, they tend to do things to minorities.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. That's the way the government works.
Specifically, well, especially at I don't know if one would say strategically timed experimentation on people of different race.
Right.
But it kind of seems like it.
But
and 79 in Miami with Cubans would be a peak time to do such a thing. Much like they did with African Americans when they were like just kind of getting their foot in the door of normally being part of society, right, in the like 30s and 40s.
I do think this MK Ultra is an interesting version of this. You throw in the aspect that it was a military school, so there had to be the government was aware of it, the community in which it was in, what we just talked about. So tensions were high in the community. Even though people were coming here, there were still probably Castro supporters in the group. So tensions in the group was even high. let's be honest, it made Miami very, very interesting to the intelligence community, aka the CIA. So it's, I will say, well,
The government did it.
I mean, I might lean more to the government than the devil.
It's the same thing, bro.
Well, maybe.
The government is the devil, man.
But the symptoms and things that have happened to these students, the way they reacted, are very MK Ultra-ish. You know what I'm saying?
MK Ultra adjacent.
Yes. It does sound a lot like an LSD. I've never taken LSD.
I have.
It does sound a lot about it, like what these students, how they behave, does sound a lot like a bad trip from what I've heard.
I don't know. I've never gotten violent or anything like that on hallucinogens, but, you know, not all of us, not everybody's not a pussy.
That's true. But it's very important to say there is no documented proof of this. Of course, it's the CIA. There's not going to be.
If they had a cool teacher there to talk all these kids down, that's never would have happened. Give them a blanket and some sunglasses. They'll be all right.
Let's talk about the fun shit. This would be the cult aspect and the teacher's role, possibly.
Teacher cult?
Maybe. Some rumors suggest a charismatic or controversial teacher may have provoked or manipulated the outbreak that happened in the school.
Anticristo?
Yes. Several accounts suggest teachers were not just bystanders. They may have inadvertently fueled the outbreak.
They had a bunch of fucking snakes running around this motherfucker.
Eyewitnesses report claims that at least one teacher began shouting and reacting hysterically, which validated the student's fear instead of calming it. So basically, one student had an episode, another student had another episode, that domino is starting to fall, and the teacher, instead of trying to calm the situation, panicked and got hysterical, him or herself.
Or was he feeding it purposefully with incantations? This is Cuban Hogwarts.
We were going to get to... We'll get to that.
Next thing you're going to tell me some dude with a weird turban let a troll into the basement.
There was another teacher that we'll talk about. These allegations were never proven, but whispers persisted that this was the case. So these were rumors. We can't put a lot of credibility on it. However, I will say this. I don't blame this teacher. I think the teacher, or if this was a legitimate scenario, I would expect there would be at least one or two teachers to fall victim to the hysteria as well.
Yeah, the ones that want to be cool.
Well, not even cool. I would say weak. I wouldn't say cool. I would say weak. A male teacher is the one they really were focusing in on, who aggravated the situation. He was kind of eccentric, which,
Gay.
79...
He was gay.
Probably. Allegedly spoke of demons and curses in the class before the outbreak. Some students claimed he joked about possession and warned of evil spirits. So not only did this possible... Now, I'm assuming this is the same teacher that we were just speaking about, but you being this far out... It could have been... I'm sure multiple teachers got a little hysterical.
Yeah.
But this one...
Well, yeah. I mean, you're going to fucking freak out.
This one teacher possibly could have been...
one of the fueling factors of it.
The time leading up to it. I think this is very possible.
He may have been the match that lit the fire.
Yeah, these comments may have primed the students to have this panic event.
He was the gasolina. Gasolina.
And the rumor mill gets a little bit more interesting. Some people actually say he may have intentionally stirred the chaos, though no proof has ever been found of it. Now, you can't talk about 79, can't talk about demonic possession, can't talk about Satan without talking about the occult. In the aftermath of the 79 possession riot, some parents and students alleged that a particular teacher had invited students to his home for occult or ritualistic activities. I'm going to assume...
He was trying to see their buttholes.
No.
Oh.
This is the same teacher.
Oh, yeah. Also, yes.
You go right to buttholes, but that's okay.
Well,
It was 79. This
the devil, you know.
Well, let's be honest. It was 79. There was it's not like it is today where you have to keep a definite separation of church and state.
Right.
There was a lot more interaction outside of school between students and teachers, and not just sexual. Now they have to stay away just for mere fact of appearances.
Mother, Mary, I go to tutoring. I need to get tutor for what class? Anatomy.
No. I'm going to my teacher's house to get tutored in anatomy. The fuck you are, Marcus. Go to your room.
For one, there wouldn't be a Cuban named Marcus. Could you pick
Marco.
Well, thank you. Pick a whiter fucking name.
You trying to tell me you don't want me to pass the anatomies? I have B+ in anatomies, and father only hits me if I get less than ace. I need to go to the tutor, mother.
The details vary, but this teacher allegedly performed seances, did Ouija board sessions, and practiced Santeria rituals with a small group of students.
And a crystal ball. He had $1 million, but he spent it all.
These sessions supposedly invoked talks of demons, curses, which terrified the kids and spread rumors back to school. I don't think terrified is a great, I think intrigued would be a better word.
Yeah.
Honestly. So this probably got the ball rolling, this kind of activity, or this kind of practice in the weeks leading up to the event. It primed them, it got these kids ready, and it added fuel to a big pile of wood, and it only needed one little spark.
Fuego.
So sometime during that day, there was a spark, and what happened. If this is true, these occult gatherings could have primed certain students. Once one or two of those primed kids panicked at the school, the chain reaction spread across the student body. And it probably would spread the way mass hysteria works to kids that weren't even involved in these sessions and
it would spread the way that shit spreads in a fucking high school.
Even if false, the belief that a teacher was dabbling in the occult could have been enough to stoke paranormal and hysteria. So if this came out, there's this gossip after the event that just didn't come from nowhere. There was gossip before. It just made that snowball get even bigger before the event.
Mm-hmm.
So when that snowball or that ball was rolling down the hill at full speed before the day of the event, that's basically what I'm saying.
Right.
Now, is it important? It's important to note that no teacher was ever criminally charged or publicly named in the connection with these allegations.
Well, how could you? You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
if there's no evidence.
I find it very interesting. Of course, 79 is a different time. They might not print to where today, if this happened today, that teacher would be plastered all over social media.
Yeah.
79 is a different story. So, but I still think it's just the rumor mill at this point. I would think there would at least be a name somewhere in print, a newspaper or something that we could find.
Yeah, right.
But like I said, no teacher was ever formally charged or even implicated in this story of occultism. Now, the founder, Marina El downplayed the entire incident, at times blaming outside agitators or political enemies. So he turned to political.
Yeah.
That, a man of his background, I think, that would be where he would go anyway.
Yeah, he's
being
a
from
gastro
Cuba.
this.
Yeah. The occult teacher rumors persisted in local memory, passed down among former students as an explanation for what has happened. So this is the teacher aspect of this is a game of telephone.
Well, yeah, because there's always, you got to have something. Even if it's completely not true, you have to, as a community, you have to have something to fall back on for shit like this.
I would assume at this point in time, the teacher occult version is much bigger than what it was even at the time.
Oh, I'm sure. Probably, yeah.
Right. I'm guessing. I don't know that, but I'm guessing it has built a little lore or legend, if you will.
Yeah.
Over the decades.
Because there probably is some level of truth to it.
Now, I'm
in
sure,
some way, shape, or form.
It would not surprise me one bit. I know in 79 there was a lot more mingling between teachers and students.
Yeah.
Off campus than there is today. It would not surprise me if there was a teacher that did have parties that students attended. A Ouija board probably did. 79, a Ouija board probably made it out.
Yeah, it was 79. You
was
know, you had
79.
Ouija boards and fondue.
Right, and LSD.
Your parents put their car keys into fish bowls.
Right. Hell, I remember that. That was the thing in the 90s. Oh, I hope my mom's still not listening.
She'd be like, I was around in the 70s. And you'd be like, gross.
But
Mom, stop.
here, so I'm not, the legend is much bigger than what it really is. I think that the legend of the occult. Yes, I'm guaranteed, I'd bet my money it happened, that there was seance parties or Ouija board parties. It did happen, but did it play a role? Did it add to it?
Right.
I don't know.
The occult is the dick of the paranormal. It exists. It is real.
Is it a big black cock?
It's
or
not
a
as
white
big as you
Caucasian?
think it is.
So it's an average Caucasian penis.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Or better analogy, the occult is the female
Asian?
orgasm of the paranormal. It does exist, but most people don't know anything about it, and they've never been able to encounter it.
It's the Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I've heard stories of it, never seen it.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's out there. I know it's out there, but I don't know if I'll ever find it myself.
I've heard wood knocks and howling, but I've never actually seen it.
And everything that I have seen was fake.
Yes. Or the wood knocks were definitely fake. Or are you trying to say I've never brought a woman to orgasm?
I don't know if any of us really have.
Fair point. How do you really
We're
know?
all just living a lie.
It's the simulation. As long as they lie to me and tell me I'm awesome, that's all that matters. I'm good with it. Lie to me. Anyway, okay. The aftermath and legacy of this episode or this event. Immediate closure of the school for days.
Yeah. Yep.
Which would be, I would think so.
Fair.
I don't think they came around back for sixth period.
Would have to say that's mandatory.
Long-term reputation tarnished. It was branded the Demon School.
You could do better.
Demon High. Well, I didn't help fucking label the goddamn school. Jeez. You think about that.
Sit here and think of a good one.
Okay.
Anarchist Academy. The Antichrist Academy.
That's good. Incident folded into broader satanic panic narratives of the 80s. So, like I said this earlier on, this kind of laid the groundwork, or this might have happened because the satanic panic was like a volcano. It was rumbling. And it didn't explode till the 80s. But this might have been a little earthquake to let it.
We were eating Taco Bell in the 70s.
Okay.
And it hit the end of the digestives tract in the 80s.
Yeah. The Miami community, especially the Cuban community in Miami, continue to reference the story as a cautionary tale, which we are
of what?
Santeria, demonic possession.
Weird teachers.
Don't fuck around and find out kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? No clear resolution, no single culprit identified, no toxicology, no proof, no paranormal validation whatsoever. Zach Bagans did not go to the school and investigate.
Oh, yeah, because he would have definitely been able to tell you that it was haunted immediately. Within 2.5 minutes of being
surprised. I didn't hear any. I'm surprised Ed and Lorraine didn't walk their happy asses down there. And if they showed up, you know it was a demonic possession.
We need a Hispanic ghost hunting show now to do this place. Like vis-a-vis the Ghost Brothers, but Hispanic. The Ghost Essays.
Now, let's talk about some of the other
Essays Fantasmos or some shit like that.
This was, I think we both agree, this was likely just mass hysteria amplified by cultural and media framing.
Yeah, 100%. Well, it was. I don't. 100% in that I seriously doubt it was anything as crazy as it was, as it ended up being.
Well, I would say that
through as far as like the media and shit goes.
I will say this: maybe one student did get a little possessed.
Maybe it was a new dance,
and it might have just got the chaos going and sent other students into hysterical. Maybe one of those kids was actually seeing Jesus and Satan all at the same time. So that's possible, or it's just possible Maybe one kid was fucking around.
Or maybe a kid had a fucking seizure.
That is possible too. That would explain a little bit.
Maybe they're doing the rock lobster.
Maybe.
B-52s.
Okay. The demons were in the headlines, not necessarily the classrooms.
Oh,
you like that one?
devil's in the details.
Yeah. But the question still lingers, why did it spread so fast, and why did teachers also collapse into it?
Because they're weak.
Well, that is an interesting... That is interesting.
It almost makes you wonder if it was a coordinated thing, because maybe they wanted to get the school shut down, or they wanted to get like a new person in charge.
I think somebody would have broke this silence by now.
100%.
But the teachers does pose a interesting question to it. Generally, an adult in that setting with students, obviously 17, 18, under 18. They could go into hysteria or more susceptible to it. You would think there would be more teachers wouldn't necessarily, not to say that they couldn't, but I think they would be less likely to fall victim to the mass hysteria because they're older.
You think they would instinctively try to lessen the effect of what's going on within the school.
So it does make it a little interesting that even some teachers were affected by the mass hysteria, but that doesn't prove it was a demonic possession. It makes it a little bit more interesting. It throws a little bit of a shade of doubt onto the just 100% mass hysteria.
Throwing shade, on these hoes.
But this also, why did it spread so fast? Mass hysteria would take time. How did it go? From the way it was reported, from what I researched, this was almost, I don't want to say, it was a very fast domino fall.
It was either,
you would think it would be an all afternoon event.
Or then it makes you think either there's some type of unexplainable foul play or it was planned in a way.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you on the plan, but I just think somebody would have spilled the beans by now.
Right.
But it does not surprise me that this really took off, given the time frame, given the era of, we were really into cults. Society itself was into cults, into the occult. You had, Church of Satan was big. We were coming off the 60s, the Summer of Love, 69. There was, it seemed to be in society a rebuttal to that. You know what I'm saying? More of a, not Summer of Love. We were Summer of
hatred.
We moved to the other side of the spectrum. It seemed like in society.
Fucking hippies.
So that is probably why we went to. There was more occult leaning, more ritualistic overtones to the latter part of, as a way to combat, or not combat, but move away from the Summer of Love, the hippie movement, essentially.
Yeah. This never would have happened if Vince Papali was teaching at that school. He's a man of honor.
Do you believe half the bullshit you spread?
He crawled himself out of a very low point and became an Eagles legend for 3 seasons.
Did you watch the movie today or something?
Yeah, a couple days ago.
What does that have to fucking do with fucking anything we're talking about?
He's invincible.
Anyway, so I think the time frame. Let's be honest, and it doesn't take much for a community. We've seen something very recent where a community just went batshit crazy.
The Salem witch trials?
No, I'm talking 2020. It didn't take much for people to start losing their fucking mind over COVID.
Oh, I need toilet paper.
Or the whole mask ordeal.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, there are still motherfuckers wearing masks in the car alone today.
I was talking about that shit last night. Like the mask thing was, I say stupid, but it wasn't. It was a valiant effort. I understand why they had the thought, but I don't understand why it was such a big fucking deal if I didn't want to wear one.
It doesn't.
Like, I did wear them strictly because I didn't feel like taking the time out of my day to deal with the bullshit of not wearing it.
But my point is, it doesn't take much to get people riled up into hysteria and make them do things they might not normally do.
Right. I really thought I was going to hear more like fucking like keyboard warrior shit about like standing up to the government during that time.
Well, a perfect example, Rage Against the Machine. How quick did they turn to rage in favor of the machine during that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Or fuck you, I'll do what you tell me.
Yeah.
You know. So it doesn't. You put the fear.
They machined against the rage.
You put the fear into people, they will change their fucking tune real fucking quick. This, the whole paranormal craze of the 70s, the Satanic Panic, this was, like I said, this was a precursor to all that. We were moving as a society in that direct to having that situation arise.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't take much to give a little nudge and for this type scenario at the school to happen, I don't think. Because we've seen it. There was people I thought during the COVID situation they kowtowed quicker than anybody that I thought, well, really? That's kind of weird.
Mm.
So it doesn't take much to get people to A, forget about their beliefs, or B, change their beliefs.
Yeah.
You throw a little hysteria and then...
Especially when you involve kids.
Yes. So it's interesting.
Those niños.
Yes. So that is it. I think we both agree this wasn't 1,000 kids or 200 kids getting possessed by Satan and his minions. This was a case of mass hysteria. I will give those paranormal freaks, if you want to give me one was possessed, I will say okay, and the rest were just
following suit. They're just like, I want to be cool too.
Psychologically, got caught up in the moment.
I want to see, these are those moments where like my mind goes to like, if we lived in a world where Satan was real, everything, it was all real, and they were just out there, and like there's press conferences about shit, and Satan's like, look, I didn't do this. If you look at it, it's completely infeasible from a logistical standpoint for me to control all this at one time. I'm only one demon. I'm the lord of the underworld. I'm not fucking God.
Well, yeah, but that's basically it. I think we both think this is mass hysteria. But I forgot, there was a piece of news that we didn't talk about. I forgot to bring up.
What?
Apparently, the rapture happened. Do you hear about that?
No?
Apparently, it didn't happen, or nobody was worthy of going.
That's what I'm saying. If the rapture really were to happen, I feel like most people would look around and go, fuck.
But there's
only one?
Some minister said he deciphered it, and Jesus came to him and told him he's coming back. I think it was Wednesday.
Why? Well, that's like the worst day of the week.
I know, hump day. But
arguably worse than Monday.
Either the rapture happened and nobody fucking got taken, which is going to mean some people...
The rapper happened?
Yeah. Or it didn't happen. I think I'm going to go to... It probably
just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Either that or, like I said, like I've been saying for years, all you fucking idiots out there, not everybody, but that actually believe in that shit, which that's fine, but I seriously doubt most of people that follow a lot of those teachings are going to be very happy when it comes down the pipeline, because they're going to go, oh, maybe I wasn't as righteous and good as I thought I was my whole life, because my ass is still fucking here.
Well, who knows?
The real test is, will Chick-fil-A still have employees after the rapture? That's how you'll know it happened. You go to Chick-fil-A and they'll be closed because they don't have any employees left. Because that's God's chicken.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. I don't know what the fuss is about fucking Chick-fil-A.
It's good. It's not like...
It's average.
Yeah,
it's fucking fast food chicken.
I like it.
It's fast food like, fucking chicken.
I do, like... I'll say, like, oh, I think I want Chick-fil-A. People are like, oh my God, blah, blah. I'm like, no, it's just, like... I just want... Like, it's not that great. But I do... Every once in a while, I'm like, oh, that sounds good. I'll go get that. And it's usually more convenient than a lot of other places to go to, even with the crazy line. It's still faster to go through the drive-thru with a crazy line at Chick-fil-A than it is to go through a short line at fucking McDonald's.
All right. That's all I got. I think
God's chicken.
God's chicken. We'll cover that.
And they hate gays.
And they don't work on Sundays.
Literally almost most of the time that I'm like, man, Chick-fil-A sounds kind of good, is fucking Sunday.
Because it's God's chicken.
You know the secret? One of their secrets?
What?
They marinate their chicken in pickle brine.
Yeah, I think I have heard that. All right.
True story.
We're going to get out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
You heard it here, folks.
We'll see you next week for another live stream recording of the GITN Podcast.
No idea what it's going to be.
We'll know 5 minutes before the show.
I'm going to put out a fucking post on Twitter, and we're going to rate people's farts.
No, we're not.
Might do another AI episode. I was thinking about it, having AI write like a full like story that's like 5 to 6 pages long, like a spoopy story. Just see what it comes up with. I feel like it's going to be hilarious or like actually terrifying.
All right. We'll see you next week. Take care, guys.